Hey guys, I hope everybody's doing good. I've been giving a lot of thought to a couple things tonight, and I wanted to come on here and tell you a couple of stories, and they're true stories, and I will show you some facts and everything. If you bear with me, kind of tired. I've had a busy day, so no makeup, no nothing. My pajamas on, all the things. And I probably don't know which glasses I'm gonna wear because, like I said, I'm new at this, and believe it or not, I don't have all the fancy smancy equipment and all that kind of stuff. I'm just using what I got and trying to learn as I go. So I don't know what's going to be best for me to use. So I'm going to try to use these glasses a little bit, then I might have to change up because I'm going to be reading some stuff. And then what I'm going to do is, after I read this, I really want to get into these stories that are true. And since I really don't know how to work this and edit it and put everything together, I may have to cut this off and run over to the other computer to quickly get you the newspaper clippings and stuff like that, because I'm doing it a little bit different tonight. So if you will, please bear with me. I think this is some pretty interesting information. Now, I've been working on the Summer Wells case again for my own personal reasons. Believe it or not, I've been with it since day one. My choice, my reasons. After I came back from Nashville and helping my mom go through her cancer and stuff, it was just something I wanted to do to fix me a YouTube. A lot of people saying, oh, your YouTube channel, I'll just address this now while I'm thinking about it. Oh, you've had your YouTube since 2020. Let me tell y'all something. I am illiterate as hell when it comes to computer stuff. I worked at a phone company for almost 11 years. And bless my heart, if it was not for the computers being dummy proof, I wouldn't have made it 2 days there. I wouldn't have made it through training. But I was a damn good worker, and I did corporate there, and I did retention there, and I did a damn good job. So, but if the computer was not dummy proof, I couldn't do it. So when y'all come back and y'all look at my thing and you say, oh, she's had her YouTube since 2020. Nope, that's not correct. Just like I was thinking about it the other day, y'all said some of Candace's pictures had her, and again, I'm not taking sides, but you said some of her pictures had 2020 on it, and then there was another video that hit me that said, and I don't want to get off on all that because that's not what I come here for. I got some good content tonight that I created that's just, I thought, pretty interesting. But I heard Jody Sue say that because of the, and I don't know if it's true or not, but because of the Wi-Fi or not getting the, getting it to upload and stuff like that, she might have made the picture at 6 o'clock the day before, and it might have just showed it the next day or whatever. So I don't know. I'm not going to claim to know. What I am going to do is tell y'all that my granddaughter made this YouTube page for me So I don't know where the 2020 is coming from. I don't know if was something, because she lived with me for a little while, so I don't know if it's something that she had and changed over to me. I don't know if it's something that went, how long I had my Google email, or, I don't know. But none of that matters. I don't care if y'all believe me or not. It doesn't matter. But I just wanted to clear that up. Now, I do hope you will stay with me, because like I said, I'm only telling y'all that to say this. I really don't know what I'm doing tonight. So, when I get finished reading this, I'm going to have to turn this off and just go right behind me. And I guess I'll upload this on this phone, and while this is uploading, then I'll go to the newspaper clippings and we'll go through that. So we'll kind of make this 2 sessions. And I'm going to call it Vanished into Thin Air. Gone, just gone. Y'all don't make fun of me. I think I can see better out of these glasses. I wrote it all out because, oh yeah, that's much better. I wrote it all out because, like I said, I kind of put some thought into it. But we say, where is summer? We say kids don't just vanish. We say they don't just disappear into thin air. Or do they? Well, anything is possible. I've always said never say never. I've changed my mind so many times in this Summer Wells case. I'm thinking I might be losing my mind. Actually, I think I am. I'm human. I make mistakes. But listen, one thing is for sure, and 2 things are for certain. My heart is in the right place, and I'm on Summer's side. I only want Summer found either way and brought home, period. She deserves that. All the lost kids and adults as well do. The justice, they want the who's, whys, and all that, and the what's can come later. At this point in time, it's not what is the first priority or the urgency. And it's not. The urgency is to find the lost and the vanished. So there are a couple of things I want to ask tonight on Summer. Can we all start back at the very beginning? I mean at the very, very beginning, and no drama. I know there was a few, and has been a few in the last couple of days, who said they have already started going back from the beginning. But now is the time to do it, because there's no real news going on to report. There's really not. Except the drama. And I myself don't give 2 craps about that. I ask that we all take a break, take a breath, take a breather, Get a good night's sleep. Take a break tomorrow. Clear your head. I'm sure if something happens, they'll let us know. Somebody will call. Or, say, hey, I'm going to watch it an hour. Don't spend your whole day on YouTube or drinking Kool-Aid all day long. Get out and get some fresh air. But then after you take your break, really start from the beginning, from the very first day. The very first news break that Summer was missing, and go from there without all the foolishness. But then I wanted to ask, how many people have you known just to vanish? This is the important part also that I wanted to talk to you about tonight. We say people don't just vanish. We say people don't just disappear. But wait, do they? They do. Yes, they do. It's not impossible. Let me ask you something. And this is where I'm going to go. And I'm going to tell you some stories. And then I'm going to pull up some clippings. But I'm going to tell you this first one. Well, there's a couple in here that I personally know. But I'm going to tell you some stories. And this very first one was the very first one that I ever remember. Again, it's not impossible, but how many of you remember the Marsha Tremble case in Nashville, Tennessee? That was actually February 25th in 1975, and it was Nashville, Tennessee, which, it was actually in Green Hills, and that was one of the richest neighborhoods, and it still is to this day. Does anybody remember that? Does it ring a bell for the little blonde hair Marsha Tremble, who was selling Girl Scout cookies, who went missing? Well, she was selling Girl Scout cookies in her home, or at her home, and she got gone. That was my big first talk or news experience, and all the things right there. I was 8 years old. I was so scared and I was so terrified. But I never really said anything to anybody. Not my mom, not my grandmom, not my dad. I mean, nobody. Not my brother, nobody. But I was terrified. At 8 years old, I was so scared and terrified. And when I came home from school, which I was scared to go to school, I was just so terrified because it was such a big thing. At that point, it was pretty much in my backyard. She lived about 15 to 20 minutes from my house. Everyone was talking about it. All the Metro Police was there. Every police district was there. All the time, day and night, they couldn't find her. And all they talked about was Marsha Tremble. And this is how, I'm going to tell you how I remembered it at the time. This is how I remembered it. You know, her mom came out, and I you know, I've also read the book, and through the years, because I've always been interested in true crime, because like I said, I told you, 1975, I think it was 75, it might have been 76, I'll have to look in my newspaper stuff. I also had a cousin run away. If you go back into my things where I first started this case, she ran away and she got killed in California. Wrong place, wrong time, sleep on the couch, blowed her head off. Come in looking for somebody else, didn't need any witnesses. So, you know, that's a whole nother story I had to live through. But scary times. Back to Marsha Tremble. I just didn't. I kept it all into myself, and I remember it as it was always on the news, and you know, I could hear talk about it. Kids hear things whether you think they do or not. So I also remember me seeing bits and pieces on the news. And of course, we only saw the news at certain times, like 6 o'clock news or something like that. We didn't watch it like we do now all the time. And, you know, it was just terrifying. I was so scared. And I kept so much bottled inside of me. Like I said, I didn't know if they were going to come get me. Who, if somebody would come get me. But now that I think about it, and even after I got older, I read the book on that. You know, her mom always had this stoic face. She didn't seem like, to me, the best I can remember, she didn't ever shed a tear or show any emotions. Kind of like Candace. She had that hard face. And I'm not taking up for Candace. I'm just telling you what I remember now that I go back. And I remember now a lot of people thought she did it. Now, I don't remember her dad at all, really. I know that after that, and again, we're going to get into the newspaper clippings and stuff, but I remember her dad, I know that they got a divorce later on. I don't know if it was after they found her or whatever, but I know that they ended up getting a divorce, and her mom ended up marrying the police chief, I believe. We'll get into that later. But the bottom line is they found Marsha. Let me just, okay. So, let's see. Everyone suspected her mom. Okay, I do remember that. I was young. Done told you that. Okay, her mom never cried. Just told you that. Again, I'm telling you this from my 8-year-old memory. Although what I'm trying to say is, I was sitting here thinking about y'all, and we need to talk about Summer and her brothers, but I ask you, can you imagine what this is doing to all the other little children. I mean, everybody in Hawkins County or wherever her brothers are at now and maybe talking about it or seeing it or whatever, and maybe they're talking about it to somebody or something like that. I can promise you they're traumatized. I'm traumatized with stuff to this day. I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's why. And my kids, Lord have mercy. My poor kids are grown, and I've had to. I kept them a kind of sheltered life, and I got boys, 4 of them, and that's pretty sad. But anyway, I can only imagine that not only her brothers are traumatized and maybe even acting out. Maybe people handle it different. What is it going to do to them? Or maybe even kids around there or in the schools and stuff. And I know a lot of times, like with when something happens here, let's just say it's an accident and somebody has a car wreck in a school around here, or like in my granddaughter's school, or my grandson's too young, but still they offer counseling and stuff like that for if a student loses their life or something like that. They try to counsel them or whatever. But what if a kid is not saying anything, or like I never had any of that stuff. I don't even know if it was offered or whatever. I mean, it's just horrible. People don't understand this. I don't care which way you chop it up and how you look at it. It's devastating. So I think we all need to kind of start looking at things a little bit differently. And then now I'm thinking about, okay, yes, we have a freedom of speech. Okay, I saw that on different channels. Yes, it's this, that, and the other. You can do what you want. You're an adult. I've already said that too. I've asked them, please don't go. Yeah, they're adults. Yep, they can go in a peaceful protest. Maybe they're not breaking any laws. If it was me, I'd be like George Anthony, though. Hell, except one problem. Don don't have a hose pipe to reach long enough to spray the water on them. But, I don't know. Again, 2 wrongs don't make a right. I just, what's the point? I mean, what is the point in anything? I don't even know anymore. Sometimes I feel like we're in a freaking reality show or something. All I'm trying to say is I was just sitting here thinking about all this, and it really just bothers me. It's really got to where it all bothers me. I don't want to see nobody else hurt. This is the weirdest case I've ever seen in my life, and I believe I've watched all of them. And I've watched crime on TV and ID and Fear Thy Neighbor, and I've seen real life stuff I probably should have never saw in my life, but who am I to tell you? You're old enough, you know what to do. It's your choice. I don't know if you know what to do or not, but anyway, they don't need any more stress or fear. And I'm speaking of the children. They don't need anybody, coming in from the outside and trying to shake answers out of Dawn and Candace. I'm just saying, that's my opinion. I'm just sitting here all day and thought about things and just how hard it is for many people, and how many people's been hurt by this case, and how in more ways than one, more ways than people can dream of, or think about. So let's just think about that. Now, Marsha Tremble was a pretty little girl. Like I said, she was very pretty. She was in a rich neighborhood by her house. She was selling Girl Scout cookies. And I think she was 9 years old. And she was found 33 days later. She was found on Easter Sunday. It was a sad day. I remember that Easter. Oh my God. It just was not a good Easter day. The whole city took it so bad. If I remember right, she was in a freezer, in like a lift-up freezer, but I'd rather read the newspaper to remember correctly, because again, I was 8, but it was a terrible day. I do remember, and we'll take a look at it. I don't remember exactly how it went, but there was a man, he finally did, because there was people that thought, you know, like I said, the mom did it, the brother did it, whatever, but there was a man, he got convicted of it, and he spent like 40 years or close to that into prison. Well, something happened a few years back. Time flies, so I don't know if it's been over 5 years or somewhere around in there. But he spent 5 years in prison. And then something happened over at Vanderbilt to somebody. Can't remember the details of that exactly. And I know my mom was telling me about it. And then I got to looking at it and everything. And they had the wrong man for Marsha Tremble. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, they linked the other man to the Marsha Tremble killing, all those years later. So people do serve that are innocent in jail. We all know that. So we got to sit back. We got to think a little bit more. You know, it's been what, almost 6 months, or has been 6 months. It's time to really let the system work in Summer's case. But, I mean, we can go back and go to the very, very front of it, go over it twice, like Santa. Check your list twice, 3 times if you have to. Get a piece of paper and see who's been naughty or nice. Write it down. Go back and cross it out. Do it again if you have to. Because this is real life. It's real life. You don't want to convict somebody who's not guilty. It's not a game. It is a puzzle, but it may be time just to let stuff die down and let law enforcement handle this. I mean, it's okay to report on it, but we cannot jump to conclusions. Also, I wanted to talk to y'all about, then there was a couple of streets over from where I was born and raised, and all my family lived there. My grandmother raised 10 kids and 6 grandchildren in that house. I don't know how she did it, rest her soul. My grandfather worked at the bridge company, the Nashville Bridge Company, and he laid in the hospital 9 months with a brain hemorrhage before he died. My mom was expecting me, so I never got to meet him. But anyway, my point is, my grandma was one hell of a lady. Never met anybody else like her. She was strong. She could do anything in this world, period. There was nobody like her. I wish she was still here today. Ooh. But anyway, back to my story. A couple of streets over from me, we then had Tabitha Tudors go missing. I know everybody's heard about Tabitha Tudors. She was last seen leaving her home, walking to the corner bus stop for her school, never to be seen again. And that was April 29th of 2003. And this is right now being handled with the FBI. Tabitha's poor mom and dad, they still live there in the same house. They won't move. They stay right there in case she comes home. I don't think they ever had their number changed. Her mom went through cancer. She's a tough cookie too. Every year they have some kind of, I don't think they had it last year, so I forgot what happened, but every year they have some kind of vigil for the family and friends. And, you know, her sister, she's got a sister that's been really tremendous in helping her mom and dad. And, there's actually Metro Police has been excellent working with them, working on every tip. I mean, I know this personally. They've been on national TV. They've been on ID channels. Anything to keep Tabitha's name out there. They've done, you know, mainstream media. They've done age progression drawings of Tabitha. To this day, like I said, they followed tips. I know they've been all over the world. But she's gone. She just got gone within thin air. I mean, I think there was a neighbor that saw her just walking there to her school bus, her regular routine every day. And this is one I really, really pray for. I have friends from kindergarten that was best friends with this family as well, and grew up right there on the same street with them. And they go to every vigil. They help look, and, you know, they know her dad Bo and everything, and I mean, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. This one I really pray, and it needs to be a happy ending. It really does. This one I'm going to show you some on as well. But if you hear anything, please call the FBI at 202-324-3000. Please. I have some more friends in Nashville who I went to school with, and friends in the neighborhood, and their dad was an ex-cop. This is an interesting case right here. Very interesting to me. His name was Johnny Brewer. He's an older guy. He disappeared without a trace. And they're still begging for just at least closure. Said his name was Johnny Brewer, and his name is John Adams Brewer Jr. He's been missing since May 8th of 2013. He was last seen at a community bank and trust in Pegram, Tennessee. That's about 20-30 minutes from Nashville. If you know anything about John Adams Brewer, please call Metro Police 615-862-8600. Or actually, Kenneth Miller is working on the case from the Cheatham County Police Department at 615-792-5618. And that's because the bank, there was so much conflict there because the bank is in Cheatham County. And again, he deserves the respect as well. Again, he was an ex-cop. I will show you this, and I will turn my camera off, and I will upload this video, and I will go over here so we can go over some of these cases. I appreciate y'all. And of course, we have Monkey missing Michael Joseph Vaughn, and he's been missing since July 27th of 2021 from Fruitland, Idaho. And I want you to keep him in your prayers. And if you know anything at all, big or small, and you know you have any credible information, they want you just to call 911, or they want you to call the Fruitland Police Department at 208-642-6006. And I'll be showing you little Michael's picture here in a little bit. But he deserves justice too. And y'all don't forget, maybe you could put a purple heart for summer on your Christmas tree this year, and a little blue heart for they call him Monkey, but for Michael Vaughn on your Christmas tree. And let's hope and pray that we find these children, and that we find Mr. John Adams Brewer, and that we find Tabitha, because they all deserve to come home. Everybody deserves to come home. And let's just pray and stop the nonsense and the foolishness. It's not helping nobody. And thank you for listening to me. And if you want to put a thumbs up, you can. And if you want to subscribe, you can. It's free. And thank you for spending time with me. And I will be back in Give me 5 minutes. Thank you. Love y'all. And welcome to my world.